Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shirley. I am a born and raised New Yorker who also happens to be an attorney, which is still kind of weird to say even though I'm a practicing attorney and I go to court almost every single day for my job. And this is kind of like a check-in video. A lot has happened, a lot of observations of this field, and I'm trying so hard to be as honest and as transparent as possible because I've always been transparent and a lot of y'all have been following me along since my first year of law school, even since before that, since I started documenting my journey on TikTok or have recently just followed me on Instagram. And I think I owe it to y'all to be as transparent as possible, but I will give a fair warning that unfortunately I can't be 100% transparent because a lot of my observations come from others and other practicing attorneys and my job. And I think, of course, I'm appreciative of all the opportunities that I've garnered and the place that I am in my life right now. But it is obviously, like, I think with anything, it's not perfect. So let's get into it. And to help me with my observations of 2 months, right? Has it been 2 months? September, October, November. It's about to be 3 months of being a practicing attorney. So here is kind of my 5 big observations. Also, I am in litigation. I'm a plaintiff's personal injury attorney. So this is just, of course, subjective to my experience to being a plaintiff's personal injury attorney in New York City, and just also just based on my perspective. Okay, so number 1, everyone is as nervous. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in the courtroom and lawyers are scrambling. Sometimes people are just like really, really confused because maybe it's their first time being at that specific court appearance, at that specific courtroom. And I've had many times people come up to me, like you could tell, like very senior attorneys come up to me and ask me, so what do you do here? Like, do you sign in with the court clerk? Just needing assistance. So I think for me, it was honestly like, I hate to say this, but it is refreshing to see that people still get nervous, still are as confused. And for me, especially as a new junior associate attorney, it just gives me more kind of confianza en yo misma, or maybe at least a little bit more reassurance that we're all trying our best, and some of us are more confused than others depending on the certain day. Okay, second observation, you might be the least experienced attorney, but you're not the worst. You might not be the worst. I've been at courtrooms where either the attorney is completely unprepared, they don't know the facts of the case, the judge is asking them just what are the facts of the case. The judge is asking these attorneys like very basic questions of the facts of the case, and that attorney is just unable to answer. They're just completely unprepared. Some attorneys, even from what I've seen, like blatantly disobey the court's instructions, like basic things as like putting your phone away or sitting down when the judge is speaking. I've just seen, like, I don't know, I think there is a lack of professionalism at times, and maybe certain people have bigger egos than others, but honestly, like, it's really insane. Like, I think you think as lawyers a certain level of ethics and of professionalism, and it's not the case. You see a lot of things in court. I've seen parties like plaintiff's counsel and defense counsel scream at each other in front of the judge. Insane. Okay, number 3. I knew this a little bit from law school, but I think it's even more evident now. But at least in New York, judges have their own set of rules, and you could look up their rules online. Like, it is public information. There could be like 15 pages in a PDF about how this judge specifically wants certain motion papers, what to do if you want a conference with the judge and opposing counsel. There is just, it's so specific, it's so specifically tailored. And at times, even like you're heading into a court appearance and you're meeting the judge's clerk, you're not meeting the judge personally. Other times you are. And so it's really interesting to see. And you kind of, now that I've been going to court really consistently, I know exactly what to expect at certain court appearances. But you would think that there would be a uniform way for all civil litigation cases, but no, absolutely not. I think this is four. The legal field is so small, and I think this is why it's super important to remain in good graces with everyone. And I think for me, at least, I've just always been the type of person. I am very collaborative. I think the best way to get something done is just to be nice to people, which is, you would be surprised, people are not that nice at times. But so far in my experience, because the legal community is so small, I think everyone is just trying to do their best to work with each other and get stuff done. So you would be surprised. Like, I feel like in movies or in TV series, they portray lawyers to be a certain type of way. And I have not had a bad experience with opposing counsel at all. Obviously, like in their legal arguments that they submit to court, obviously they're, making the best case for themselves. But in person, when we're in front of the judge or when we're trying to submit an order, I have the greatest conversations. I have the greatest working relationships. And I do think part of that is because I think we're all trying to do our jobs, but I think as well, because it's such a small community, we're just eventually going to run into each other. One of us might need a favor from one another. One of us might need an extension. It's just always best to be nice since it's such a small world. So that's what I've learned. Fifth, call. I'm trying to read my notes. I think fifth was kind of similar to judges' rules. Every court appearance is different. I thought, naively thought, at least in the personal injury space, that every court appearance was like this grand thing. Like you would go to court and you would make your oral argument. You would be super prepared with just citations and your strongest legal arguments, and that is legit not the case. I think for the most part, I have not seen a judge. I have not argued in front of a judge. Most of what I'm going to, and this is probably because I'm new and I'm being sent to like very simple hearings. So I'm being mostly sent to discovery hearings, and I'll explain that a little bit. And this is kind of like reminding me of what I tell clients all the time because I have to explain kind of how litigation works, at least in New York. So when you file a lawsuit, there is a period where the case needs to be certified to head to trial. What does that mean? That means that both parties are wishing to create the best case scenario for their side, of course, to present to a jury. And what do you need to present your case in the best possible way? Evidence. And this is like the discovery process, which takes forever, at least in personal injury matters from what I've seen, because parties want certain information, other parties object to that information. There's depositions, which, at least in my experience, the defendants honestly drag their feet or they're unable to appear, so we have to reschedule. So the court, to make sure that also in New York, you kind of have to file, which we usually file. We file a request for judicial intervention, meaning we tell the court, hey, can you intervene to make sure that this case is moving forward and that defense counsel is complying with providing us this information. We file that RJI, and then we get a preliminary conference regarding discovery, regarding evidence, regarding when the depositions need to be scheduled. And then following that, there's a compliance conference order. And these orders, for the most part, are being submitted through the attendance of a hearing. So each court, as I've stated with judges, each court as well has their own different procedure on how to get discovery moving. So at least in Brooklyn, there's like this huge room of, I don't even know how many attorneys. And it's just like the craziest thing ever. When I first went to Kings to Brooklyn, these attorneys screaming out like numbers and trying to find each other and trying to make sure there's an order drafted to be submitted. Brooklyn is that way. Queens, from what I've noticed, I've had to present myself in court or virtually. So for the most part, I am attending discovery related hearings and just kind of showing up and telling a judge or a clerk, or if in Brooklyn, meeting with defense counsel and making sure that all of what is missing in discovery is in that order. So that's kind of the gist of it. So yeah, at this stage of my career, it's not as glamorous. The more senior you are, of course, you're going to be heading into settlement conferences, pre-trial conferences, selecting juries, which my colleague at my job has. And that is kind of the gist, my 5 big observations so far as an attorney who's been practicing for 2 months in the personal injury space. I know I said I wasn't going to be completely transparent, but I will say that this has been kind of the hardest period of adjusting to the world of litigation, of putting out emergencies, of complying with deadlines. And I don't think I've ever worked so hard, and I don't think I've ever been this stressed out. I don't think also I've been so concerned of how matters are being handled. And I don't know if this is just normal in litigation, or maybe it's just because I'm in a small law firm with a lot of high volume and just one of 2 attorneys at the law firm who's handling maybe close to 140 cases, active cases in litigation. So I'm not sure. And for what I could say for certainty, I don't think I could do this long term, as in like, I don't know how people are in litigation for years, for decades. I can't see that. I can't see myself, especially as someone who wishes to have work-life balance and to travel. I just don't see how that's possible in litigation. I think as well, I really do like client work. I'm the type of person, I want to sit down. I want to take the time to meet with clients. And litigation is fun, I would say. It's really cool to show up. It's really nerve-wracking. There's so many pros to litigation, but I think for me, the type of person I am is I just wish I had more client-facing time. I feel like for the most part, I'm in court appearances. I am quickly drafting motions. I am struggling calling back clients, and that is just not the lifestyle I want for myself, like very long term. So I guess I realize that now, which is fine. I think sometimes you got to try things out and see if you like them or not. And so far, I mean, it's fine for where I'm at currently as a young associate, but of course, long term, I'll see what options there are for me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this long video. If you have any more questions, let me know. And also, this is the first time I put on makeup. I look dolled up on a non-work day. I have been really, as some of y'all know on my Instagram, I have been just really struggling to find work-life balance or even like treating myself. But I told myself this morning, I signed up to go to the gym. I woke up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. I got up. I came home, I ate a bit, I cleaned up, I just like got dolled up, and I was like, I'm gonna record a YouTube video. I'm not gonna let my current job or this profession dim my light. I'm not gonna let myself go. And if the microwave is in the entirety of this video, I'm gonna be so mad. But anyways, love you guys. Like, subscribe, and comment.